we snuck into the Super Bowl. Late the night before, I found out about the Super Bowl, which was being hosted at Farewell Bar in Bushwick, complete with a halftime drag show. 20 superb contestants being judged on most creative, best carnivore, and best herbivore. Our household is not a fan of sports. We are a fan of being cooked for and eating food.
You can make a living eating food. You're great at it.
Of course, we didn't plan ahead, we didn't buy tickets, and that once again bit us in the butt. When we checked the event around noon, it was sold out. So we called the bar and asked, and they said they had a small amount of tickets available at the door to get there as quick as you can and hope for the best. So we took our chances. As we arrived at around 4:15, the door person told us that they just sold the last 2 tickets. Damn, our luck. They then leaned in and said, damn, sneak on in, commandeer some soup, and gives us a wink and a smile.
Like a wink and a smile.
Without hesitation, we disappear deep into the crowd and head to the first table we see. Wow, these were the best smelling soups that we have ever smelled. One could say they smelled super. We started with the chicken matzo ball soup, which happened to be the first matzo ball soup I'd ever had. It won't be my last. Chef's kiss.
Delicious.
We moved on to our second, which was kind of the third, because I think we skipped that one right in the middle because we were paying too much attention to the 2 dogs that were sleeping on the couch behind the soup. The bao cow. Probably not saying that correctly, but I think it's bao cow. He asked me how hot I wanted it. I said childlike. Spicy food, no bueno. It still lit me up. Even with just the tiniest amount put in, woof. I still loved every second of it. Vietnamese stew on a cold day, woohoo, 2 thumbs up. The next stew was made with beef, tomatoes, peppers, and peanut butter. As an avid peanut butterer of all things, I've never had it in a stew, at least not to my knowledge. I must have it again. We moved on to the next soup, which was the only dessert soup that we saw. Coconut taro sago soup, unlike anything we've ever tasted. Sweet, but not too sweet, the consistency of a delicious milkshake with big old chunks of taro. Bizarre, delicious, creamy, warm, must have. Do it again. Make it again, I'll eat it again. A++. With the taro soup in one hand, I quickly grabbed the spicy coconut miso nudes. Noodles are my heaven. Noodles all day. Please and thank you. A little kick with an explosion of flavor. Thanks to the curry paste, bok choy, ginger, and a sizable chunk of fried tofu. Guess what? More soup. Coconut kitchen sink veggie coconut kitchen sink veggie curry. Say that 5 times fast. You can't. I double dog dare you. I don't know what the white sauce was, but I could swim in that all day. I would like it in my mouth again. Please. Pretty please. We are only halfway done with the Super Bowl. Halftime show. We started back. Echo. How do you pronounce D-A-A-L?
I pronounce that doll, but I'm always working on how I say things, and I might not have it right.
We started back with a tasty Indian dal soup with tamarind. Oh yes, says Mrs. Handy, a lover of all things tamarind. We move on to the award for the creamiest and messiest soup. This goes to Mr. Stephen Douglas with his Maryland Cremo Crab. So good, so good. Crab, butter, dairy, love. It was his grandma's recipe. As we all know, grandmas make the best food. Period. Done. If you don't have a grandma, I'm sorry. You can borrow our grandma. She makes great food. So you can borrow her when you need, but only on rare occasions because I'd rather have her cook for us than you. This next one was rather unique. possibly the most healthy and full of veggies. I mean, how often do you eat rutabaga? How often do you say rutabaga? Pretty fun to say. Rutabaga, 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 rutabaga. It's hard to say multiple times. You try. Brazilian fish stew. Delicious, fishy, in a good way. Would eat again. Finish this table with an Italian sausage and kale stew, along with a southern French garlic and potato soup, both banging. As we made it to the last table, we could barely move. This Super Bowl was packed, filled to the brim. You couldn't move around without almost spilling your tiny cup of soup. So, Mrs. Handy and I split up. I grabbed a cup of the mental health mushroom, which I love all things with mushrooms. More mushrooms the better. This one was very hard to not finish because I had to share it with Miss Handy because she was going to get one to share with me. And then she grabbed her last one, and I think we skipped the one in the middle. Too many people. I think hers was a stew or maybe a soup or a bisque, something liquidy. It was good. I don't remember what it was. I didn't get any footage of it because I was trying to get the hell out of there. It was too chaotic, so we made our escape. As we left and took our last bites, we walked away happy with bellies full of commandeered soups and stews and bisques and chowders. 11 out of 10. Would do again.